I still get butterflies. I still get those butterflies today. That first day. Sometimes my butterflies are probably more around, operational things, and is this going to work out or is this going to work out? But I still have those butterflies because I'm excited to be part of this. I hesitate to say that I think I've seen everything, because that means something new is going to happen. But I think you do start to understand the rapids a little bit more, and you're able to navigate things a little bit better. And so there's not much that surprises me. That's not a challenge, but there's not much that surprises me. So I think that our big focus this year is going to be, how do we refine excellence? How do we make sure that we look at those little things? How do we get better in the little facets of what we do every single day? How do we improve our craft in the classroom? How do we improve our craft as administrators? How do I improve my craft as a superintendent? I think those are all really important things to reflect on and be ready to look at as we move through the school year. I've been heavily involved in my kids' lives. My kids would probably tell you too involved, but I've been heavily involved in my kids' lives, and that sometimes is just a dinner time conversation. And tell me what you learned today. How did you learn that? What did you guys talk about? How did you feel about that? Those, just reinforcing those conversations at home is what makes this community great. And I think that we are a product of great families. And so we can sit and say, hey, you know what? We're doing all these great things. We are doing great things. And we're doing great things that are very much in line with the great families that we have and the great supports that we have, the great community that we have. And so those are the things that make me proud. And I think those are the things that make West Ada special. And so for that kindergarten parent that says, okay, I'm going to drop my kid off, that's a scary day. I can remember that day. That's a scary day. But it's also a very exciting day. The next day when you get to volunteer in that classroom, even more exciting. When your kid comes home and said, I learned this, or says the alphabet to you for the first time, or reads a book to you for the first time, those are monumental steps that we get to be a part of. We just get to walk alongside our families to be able to make sure that our kids are learning at that level. It really is what education is all about, right? Empowering minds is let's put things in front of our students every single day where they can think outside the box, where they can synthesize information, where they can develop their own thinking skills, their own navigation of the educational system. Like, those are all really, really important life skills, right? Sure. And then ensuring excellence. It is really looking at, we do great things across our district. It's easy to sit back and say, hey, we're doing great things, and this is where we're at in West Ada, and we're one of the best achieving districts, highest achieving districts in the state of Idaho. It's great. We can sit and talk about that. Or we can say, and how can we get better? And how could we have done this a little bit better? And moving forward, why do we want to get better? Because we owe it to our kids. We owe it to our community. We owe it to our families. And that's what makes this organization special. I love going into classrooms. It fills my cup to be able to see our teachers and the craft that they have in the classroom every single day. It just fills my cup. And so to me, I spoke to new teachers yesterday, and I made this comparison to the Olympics, and it is a front row seat to the Olympics. Our teachers are those champions, and we get to go see that all the time. And they're able to persevere through 2 years of hard work, implementing a new math curriculum, implementing a new English curriculum. At the high school level, we've had a huge focus on math. We've had a huge focus on ELA. Our ELA scores are the highest that we've ever been as a district. Our math scores are at the second highest they've ever been as a district. So there's some tremendous things going on, but now it's how do we kick that up just a notch, and how do we meet students' needs that maybe we have to dig in a little bit more on. Maybe we have to provide deeper intervention on. Maybe we have to provide some different supports for. But how do we do that to make sure that we are always moving forward as a district for our kids and for our community? Our primary goal is to create a distraction-free, as close to a distraction-free environment as possible. When you start to look at the research behind cell phones, when you start to look at the distraction of cell phones, even a cell phone in your pocket is a distraction. And it's a distraction for me. I know it's a distraction for other people. So I challenge us to start thinking about this thing a little bit differently and say, okay, while I'm in school, while I'm trying to learn, if that's a distraction, how do we eliminate that distraction? How do we minimize that distraction? While also taking into account that we care deeply that our parents are able to access kids as they need to, because they are the primary stakeholders in their lives, and we want them to be able to do that. But I think there's a fine balance in which we say, hey, kids at the high school level won't be able to have access to phones during instructional time. There's a easy system to put those away. We have many schools that have already done this ahead of time. And then at the middle school level, we have some further restrictions, and then elementary school even further. And so it kind of graduates them into what I would say adulthood of using a cell phone. Levies are important not just for the funding that it provides for our teachers and for our SROs, but levies are also important because it's a good signal that our community supports us and supports our teachers every single day and supports our SROs in our schools who provide an unbelievable service for our community. And so I think it's just that pulse check, if you will, of how we're doing as a district, how we're meeting the needs of our community. And it's easy to hear one person who isn't satisfied with their experience. It feels much more gratifying when you have a group of people that come out, hit the polls, intentionally say, yes, I'm willing to continue a tax that has been out there, but I'm really willing to continue that for the good of public education in the Treasure Valley. Yeah, the things that keep me up at night are really easy. Transportation, brand new company with Durham. We're excited about Durham. I had a chance to meet with their management team last week. They have some really exciting things going. Great leadership over there, so we're super confident with the direction they're heading. But we always are going to keep our finger on that. We hired a new transportation director, Miranda, and Miranda is doing amazing things. That doesn't mean that it's going to be perfect, and we still have some challenges ahead of us, and we're going to continue to work through those challenges and make sure that we can meet the needs of our students when it comes to transportation. And then I would say the other one is really focuses on growth and maintenance of our buildings. So growth of the district and then maintenance of our buildings. And so we're thankful for our legislature who has come through and given us some additional funding to be able to meet some of those needs. But now it is prioritizing and where are the highest needs and where are the needs that we can continue to just get by with. I think there's a perspective, and the perspective is this: we're all really fortunate. I'm fortunate to sit in the seat that I'm in. I think our families are fortunate to be able to send their kids to amazing schools, some of the highest achieving schools in the state, some of the highest achieving schools in the United States. Our teachers are extremely fortunate to have parents that want to be involved, to have parents that care about their kids. Our kids, my kids, and I would assume everybody else's kids are our most precious commodity. And so putting our arm around those kids and making sure that we're all rowing in that same direction is what they deserve. We get great kids, great families, great teachers, great staff. We're just really fortunate. And so we're going to take that time this year to obviously celebrate that, how fortunate we are, sure, but also to reflect and say, what can we do just a little bit better? What can we do? What can we refine? What are those practices that we can get better at? And then we'll celebrate again at the end of the year, because I'm confident at the end of this year, we're going to have great test scores, we're going to have great results, and we're going to see a series of kids walk across the stage that are both college and career ready.